Hi, welcome to So Sensible, and I'm here with my boss lady, Elizabeth Malone, and today we're going to make a scoodie. A scoodie is a scarf and a hood mixed together to keep you warm on these cold days in Vermont. It's pretty simple. We're going to work with fleece again, and what you do is you take some fabric that you like, some fleece fabric, and what we chose was a pink and this nice checkered pastel one, and we are going to make it completely reversible. So what you do first is you figure out how long you like your scarf. We realized that this is for Elizabeth, so we picked a size that she wanted, which ended up being the length of the fabric. So it's really simple. We're just going to cut it like we would a scarf, which would be two skinny long rectangles. So we're going to figure out, we probably want, like, what do you think, this much? Is this how wide you want it? Okay. Yep. And what's great is we're working with a checkered one, so we just follow along the edges, make sure everything's together, and we're just going to cut along the line.
So I'm cutting through both at the same time, right?
This we want to pull because it's not flush for some reason. Okay.
There we go. I heard that fleece is made out of recycled plastic bottles.
It is.
That is just the coolest.
We should have pinned this so it didn't shift.
Oh, yeah?
Is
it too late to pin it now?
No, you can't really mess these up, so just keep going.
All right, I'll keep going. I can't cut our tablecloth. That's an important thing.
Yes, you don't want to do that.
Someone else who sews at Channel 15 made this tablecloth named Joanne. The tablecloth isn't named Joanne.
No.
The sewer is named Joanne.
Joanne, Mike's mom?
Yeah, Mike's mom.
Very cool. I know Joanne. She's one of my homegirls.
Yeah.
We're both videographers here at Channel 15. So I'm just going to pin these together while I'm already here and have it set up. You can enjoy some pinning too.
Oh, I can pin too? All right.
I actually really love pinning. I'm sure I've said that already. But I just think it's so relaxing. Let's see, I was worried about this one.
Oh, a little crooked.
Just right here.
Oh.
Boom.
Oh. Can we fix it?
We can fix it. We'll just trim off a square. Do you mind doing that?
Okay, yeah. So trim one square in?
Yep, I'll just do that. I'll just move these over.
Teamwork.
Or you know what, let's see where it is. So if you look right here, you'll see that it doesn't match up. So what you're going to do is you're going to figure out where to cut it off. So it does show that the next square, whoops, the next square is right here, and it matches up there. So if we just cut off one square, it'll even us up.
Cool. Is that because the fleece is kind of stretchy that it didn't line up?
The fleece was cut weird.
Oh,
we got to it.
That's what happens when the apprentice cuts.
When you what?
When the apprentice cuts, that's what happens.
No, I think it was already messed up like that. I just didn't notice.
That's kind of you to say.
I know.
So is this your favorite pin cushion, even though it's not really a cushion?
I love this pin cushion because it's magnetic.
Oh.
So the pins stick to it, and I actually have my little sewing machine tool in it too because that's magnetic as well, and then I don't have to worry about digging around for it. It's already there, and that's how much I use that tool because I mess up so much.
I just think it's so cool that fabric is still made on looms like it was a million years ago.
Right.
And that's why they have those little edges. Take off the whole pink edge too?
Just put it right here so that it's a better shot.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Okay, so now you have your scarf. This is the length that she wanted it.
Luxurious.
So I cut mine shorter than that, but I think ever since then I wish that I'd cut it longer.
Oh.
All right, so next what we're going to do.
Okay, because we got the scup, but we don't have the hoodie yet.
That's right. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pin it. Just put it right here. I'm going to pin it like this. So this is my middle section. So you fold it in half and you find your center. And I'm going to pin that like this so that I remember that that's my center. So I'll know later when I'm trying to put the hood in.
Oh, right, because you wouldn't
I
want
have
the
to leave
hood
an
like
opening.
on one end.
That's right, you have to leave an opening.
Got it.
But you'd want it centered.
How do
So-
you know how big of an opening to leave?
We're going to work with that later. We're not going to sew this until we get the hood. Okay?
Gotcha.
So then we have this ready. We're going to put this aside. Okay, so to make the hood part, we're going to want to take a hoodie sweatshirt that we love the way the hood fits. You don't want to get a sweatshirt and you're like, "Ugh, I don't like that hood. It never covers my face."
Right.
You want to get a
big
nice
hood.
sized one that you already know for a fact that you love. So you take the fabric and you put it like this, fold it in, and then you take the hood and this is your measuring. This is how you're measuring. Now you're going to want to do it 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 inch, whatever you're comfortable with, bigger on this side. So see how much I have there. This is probably the right amount to sew along.
Because you have to make
because
up for this.
I only do like 1/4 inch. That's what I'm comfortable with. So this is about looking at it. This is how long I want it. So what I would do, and you want to make sure. Oh, see, I almost cut it too soon. You want to make sure there's enough tucking room. So you want to move it up even farther than that,
Whoa, okay.
because you want to make sure that you have a generous amount down here so that if you mess up, it's better to cut off than it is to add on. So you want to waste fabric, really is what it is. I waste fabric just to make sure. I've messed up enough times and I really don't like fixing my mess ups, so I'd rather just waste fabric and use it for another craft, like an ornament or something like that, or stuffing. These scraps actually make really good stuffing for pillows and stuff like that. So then what you do is you would cut it because this one's so tight. We're going to cut it like that. And actually, I should teach it this way, but you should just pin it so that it doesn't shift.
That is a nice thing about fleece. Like if you put something on it, it kind of stays put.
Yeah, it stays where
It's
it
not
is.
Like brocade and other slippery, silky fabrics that are.
That's right. Oh, those are the worst.
Yeah, they are.
Okay. So just continue with it. And we're going to go the length. So you see that it goes over like a couple inches there. We're just going to go follow along with that. Okay. So now we have our loose pattern. Right, we're going to do the same thing with the pink one now. So you can lay out the pink one and fold it, and then we'll just put this on top of it and trace it.
So have you seen all the animal Scoodies that are around? Those are pretty great.
That would be cool. No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, they have little paws
With
that they
ears.
I guess it's more like a Scoodie mitten or something because it's got the little
Yes.
paws
Oh,
in
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Those are pretty cute.
And you can do that with this pattern too. You can always add on pockets. Those are easy. They're just a rectangle sewn in.
Got it.
Okay. And this I would pin because I don't want that to mess up. We already figured out our pattern. And just follow right on the same exact, yep. Because we already figured out the excess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's move this up so you're not over the tablecloth. I always like to cut over a cutting board just for safety's sake.
And I learned you can't leave cutting boards in the car or else they melt into strange shapes.
That's right. Did you ever fix that? You never fixed it?
Nope, nothing worked. This poor little cutting board.
Even
is
the
done.
hairdryer? You tried the hairdryer?
I was afraid to try the hairdryer. I was afraid it was going to be too hot.
But a hot car.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
At this point, it's better to take the risk than to quit completely,
It's
right?
true. It's a good point. Take a risk.
That's right.
Do you ever use those rotary cutters too?
Oh yeah, with quilting. Yep,
Oh,
absolutely. Okay, so you can see in this close-up shot there is selvage right there. We're not going to worry about that because that's going to get stitched in somewhere, so we don't need to cut that off yet. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take these apart and you're going to pin them again separately. So you're going to take them apart and you're going to sew the curved edge. That makes sense?
Yep.
Okay, so you're going to sew along this curved edge. You're just going to sew on both of them. You're going to sew along the curved edge on this one, and you're going to sew along the curved edge on this one, okay? So we're going to take it to the machine.
Take it to the machine. It's a good saying.
That's right. And we're going to hope that she's behaving right now. Can I have the pin cushion, please?
Pin cushion. Yes.
Or the magnet, should I say?
Pin magnet.
And of course you're going to grab the thread tail so that it doesn't get jammed underneath the machine. And you're just going to... I find that fleece you kind of want to pull it through the machine more because it's so bulky.
Do you have to use a special kind of thread for fleece?
It's best if you use polyester thread because it has more stretch to it than 100% cotton. Okay.
All right.
So next, I'm doing this one. And if you want, you can start trimming this up as I sew this one.
Just down to what, like a...
Just, you know, so that it's clean,
Okay.
nice edge.
All right.
Because usually when you're cutting the pattern, you don't cut really clean. You just cut, you know, what you need. Okay.
All right, same thing for
Same
this one?
thing.
Trim it up? Okay. I think you should make one out of velvet too. Then it could be
that would
like
be really
for
nice.
special occasions.
Yeah.
Velvet
Okay.
Scoodie.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to flip one of these guys inside out so that you can see the good seam. See the pretty seam? And then you're going to take it and you're going to match it so that it goes pretty to pretty. You're going to do pretty to pretty, okay? And you're going to pin it like that.
And you're pinning like the front edge of it, like where it'll be on your face?
The straight edge, yep. So, yep, that's what we're doing. In fact, I forgot that I was doing it like this. I would have cut off more fabric. You can always try it on you and see if you'd like that.
I have a big head, probably be best.
Well, in case you have a ponytail in the back, it'd be,
oh, it's
you know.
so true. Yep.
I noticed I put the hood on and I had this ponytail and it really didn't have as much coverage for my face.
Yeah. It's too bad they don't make hoods with a little hole for your ponytail.
Yes, that would be good. Well, I mean, when you're making your own Scoodie, you can make your own rules too.
It's true. It's true.
They do have hats, like ponytail hats. I'd need a pigtail hat. I like pigtails a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Those are my favorite.
Mm-hmm. I'm more of a bun girl, and that takes up even more room.
That's
in the
right.
back of a hat.
Okay, so you see that we have it together, and we're just going to start from one edge and sew along the other edge.
And are you just doing like a half or a quarter-inch seam?
I'm just doing my standard seam, and we can try it on, make sure it fits the way you want, and then we can always sew another seam
Okay.
and then cut off the extra. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Because if there's anything I hate more than anything else, it's seam ripping.
Yep, I've done a lot of that. Maybe we should sew like a fabric softener sheet in there or something. Cut down on the static.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're so funny. All right, so then we flip it inside out. Making sure that we get the seams to match.
Awesome.
Starting to take shape. You can kind of tell
Yeah.
what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
And we are going to stitch this down. But we want to make sure that it fits the way you like it. What do you think?
Oh, very good.
Glamorous. So then it fits you great. So we're going to then sew this. We're going to sew this about, what is that, like a ½ inch? Just to give it that nice lip that I love so much on the seams.
Yeah.
And you don't need to pin this. You can just kind of just use care as you go.
Just go for it.
That's right.
Have fun.
Okay, so now we have our hood, and we've sewn the edges. As you can see, there's a little pucker right there. And now we come back to the scarf. Now, we're gonna have to do it again.
All right, let's do it again.
Okay,
Okay.
so I'm thinking,
I feel like I should be on a prairie or something, maybe.
all right.
Hey, miss, get the wagon.
All right, so
So
as I see this, I think we could probably,
I'm a little too tall, right? I think my great-grandmother would be really proud right now.
yeah,
Kind of looks like one of her bonnets.
yes. So I think that we should tuck in, I think this is our mark right here. I think right here is what we want to sew to. So what we would do is I would cut this So if we're gonna sew in that much, I'm just gonna cut off a little bit of excess.
And that was the extra that you left in there to see how much you needed inside the
Right.
scarf?
That is, we're gonna sew this much into it, okay? So we're gonna leave like a 1/2 inch in there, just so you're aware. We're gonna leave like that much in. So now we have the Scoodie, and we're gonna need, open. Remember when we were leaving it open for the hood? Now this is when we're gonna measure it. Pin this so that it doesn't.
So you're just putting it together so the pieces
So it
don't
doesn't
slip
shift.
apart?
We don't want it shifting. Okay, so then we take this and we're gonna line it up, because remember, this is our centerpiece. So we want to leave it open that much. Does that make sense?
Yep. So you're not actually sewing them together right now?
No, we're not
You're
sewing
just
them together. We're
figuring out
measuring it.
how much you need to leave open.
So we need to leave this much open. And if you you're gonna do anything, you want to leave too much opening, not enough, because then you have to seam rip.
Seam rip.
We don't like that. We don't want to seam rip. Yes.
I think you should have seam rip be like your magic word, like on Pee-wee's Playhouse, where
Yes, we don't
everybody
need no.
yell seam rip. Yeah.
No seam rip. Yes, we could do that. All right. So then you know where you've put the pins in separately, where you're going to have the hood. And then you're going to start from there and you're going to go around. So because this is how I sew, I'm going to start from here and I'm going to go around the edges all the way around to the other end over here. So I'm going to bring it to the machine.
Around.
It is a long way. This is the boring part, but this is still a really quick project, so it's worth it.
Yeah. Maybe we should do it in fast forward. Ready, set, go.
No.
All right. This is
Okay, so now we have the
moment.
scarf, and we're going to just cut off the bulk and snip the edges. Right?
So why do you have to trim the corners?
That's just so that there isn't bulk in the corners, you know, like a really thick wad of fabric. You don't want that. Trim off this thread stuff. And then you actually flip it, okay? So we're gonna flip that. You wanna try that? So just to make it easier on me, what we're gonna do is we're gonna pin this by pushing the seam out to make sure that it's beautiful like this. So see how I have it tucked away? And then I'm just gonna pin it in place so that it stays exactly the way I want it.
All right.
Okay. All right, so this is the time that we're gonna put the hood into. We're just gonna do it all. We're making it reversible, so we're gonna just put the seams together. And what we're gonna do is we want to tuck it in like so. Okay? So we're tucking it in and we're tucking in. This is probably the trickiest part.
So you're turning in the
So
scarf.
we're putting
and then
this,
putting the hood
we're turning the
inside.
scarf in as if we were gonna finish the edges. I don't know if you can see that. So here's the raw edges. You're going to fold the edge and you're gonna fold the edge, okay? And then you're gonna, once you get those folded in, then you're gonna take this guy and you're gonna stick him right in here. And then you're gonna pin it because you don't wanna lose that perfect spot right there. And then you're gonna do that to the whole thing. It seems difficult, but it's not. Just have to make sure you check and recheck that you didn't make sure it's flat when you're doing it. Helps to do it on a cutting board so that you don't have to play.
So it's like an inch you're folding over.
Well, I guess it is, yep.
Yeah. And then
It's like a 3/4 inch.
and the hood the same amount.
The hood, you're
going
tucking
inside.
it in that much, yep. And you're probably going to sew it pretty much in the middle of the fold because you want to make sure that you catch it on both sides. I'm sure there's a better way to do this, but it is what it is.
So
Okay.
is this the last step?
This is the last step.
My gosh.
I know, very exciting.
Totally.
So, I'm going to make sure that everything's good with my seam before I take it over. And what I like to do is I like to finish the seam that needs to be attached first and do the finishing edges second. Because I want to make sure the important part is done right while I'm paying attention and not when I'm snoozing through the rest of it. Right?
Gotcha.
Now you're going to want to go easy on your machine as you're pushing it through because you are going through 4 layers of fleece, which let's not rush it, you know. Now after you make one of these Scoodies, you could easily put mittens on the end like we were talking about. And but my suggestion to you is to first get this down. Make one so that you feel like, yeah, I can do this before you start doing all kinds of crazy stuff to it, because it might turn into a UFO. And you don't want that. You don't want those unfinished objects in your house because you just get so stressed because you aren't really sure about your footing. And here we are back at the beginning, and we're just going to keep driving until we get over that hood edge so that we kind of reinforce it like we were doing before. Okay, I think we're done. Now you'll see. Let me do a little close-up shot. You can see the edge caught the hood, and then we carried it through, and you will see that it will change as you get moving on to the next one. It will change, and then you go. So this is what it's going to look like. And I actually just, to store them, I just hang mine in with my coats on the hook.
Super cool.
I'm going to try it on
I
the camera.
totally want to try it on. I wish I had my coat out here. Whoops. Oh yeah. Now I feel
And
really
you can wear it
tough,
like
too.
this, and you can also wear it like this. And that's how I wear it, and then I put my coat over it, and it keeps you really warm, and it keeps the wind off your face. It's
Totally.
a great little thing. So thank you for coming to So Sensible today, and thank you, Elizabeth, for being my guest, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.